I am in Winston-Salem, behind some chickens. How did I end up here, you might ask? So this is the inaugural trip with no destinations in mind. It's the 11th of May, and I am in Winston-Salem, and I had a wedding shoot on May 1st, and then that was pretty much the only work that I had lined up for this month so far. So I had a friend who was getting ready to go to DC, and she mentioned that she had gotten a flight, and so I decided that, I kind of want to just get out of town. The week of planning this, I was like, okay, well, we'll just get an Airbnb in Pittsburgh and then just kind of figure things out as we go. And then I could stay with some people in DC. But I, obviously not wanting to overstay my welcome anywhere, I also did not want to just be staying in Airbnbs the entire time. So like literally the night before I shot that wedding, I was up until like 1 or 2 a.m. constructing this plywood contraption that you see behind me. It's basically like a plywood platform that once the back of the seats fold down, I'm able to lay out the trifold plywood on top of it. And then I also got this a trifold 4-inch mattress that you can just lay out anywhere. So the idea behind it is that I didn't really want to be staying in Airbnbs paying $100+ a night on different places just to travel, and to see different things. It just can get quite expensive. So I'm trying to do this economically. Granted, what I made was a little bit flimsy because on the way to pick up Kate, the morning of leaving, the structure that I had underneath snapped.
Hey, I never asked you. Yeah. You like guacamole? Oh! Oh God!
So we drove to Pittsburgh. That morning, she had to do a little bit of work, and I went to Home Depot and disassembled the wooden thing and got some metal brackets and set out to making something a little bit more sturdy that's actually mounted to the vehicle. I have not slept in the Rover yet, just in part because we've been in cities and it just feels kind of awkward. I definitely do not want to be sleeping on the street with my windows just completely open in plain view to anybody and everyone. So I've been thinking about I made this thing kind of prematurely, but it's been a nice little prototype so far. But I've been thinking about wanting to make some like roll down canvas shades for all of the windows on the inside, as well as maybe something to pull across the front portion, so that if and when I do sleep, whether it's at a campsite or stealth camping somewhere, that I'm able to do it discreetly and privately. But just to kind of trace our steps back, Chicago to Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh to DC. I spent the first night there with Kate and Alex, and then went and met up with my friend Jorge.
So what I was saying is, we were limited because, an adoption.
Saw Jorge from college, was an old roommate, ended up staying with him one evening. Met up with a friend, Tulsi, saw her one evening, and then moved on to New York to go see some other friends. my friend Calvin, who used to live in Chicago, and then I also saw a really good friend of mine, Anna. It was good seeing both of them. And then I also met an Instagram friend whom I met sometime last year. We bonded over having a similar model and year of the Range Rover. And so I went up and saw my buddy Joe up in Jersey. So I was in New York. I still kind of am. I'm driving back today. But I decided to come up to New Jersey and meet a fellow Range Rover enthusiast. Joe. There's Joe. We're checking out our Rovers. Chicago to Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh to DC, DC to New York, and then there was a day trip that happened to Jersey, went back to New York, then came from New York all the way back down to DC. I did stop off in Philadelphia for like an hour or two just to kind of check out the area, but then Philadelphia all the way to DC. Spent the night in DC. Alex had flown back to Chicago, so we were waiting for him to come back in town. And then we drove all the way back down to Winston-Salem because that's where they needed to be. And now we're in Winston-Salem. So hopefully by the time that you see this, I'll probably be back over in Raleigh. I'm gonna surprise my family. They don't know that I'm even in North Carolina right now. I think the last that they saw me, I was in New York. But I'm so close, I figured I'm just gonna pop over and say hello. So that's kind of where we are right now. If you are new here, be sure to hit subscribe for more photography and filmmaking content around Range Rovers and travel. You can be sure to see some more chickens in the future, maybe. Yeah, he just pooped.